On today's episode of The Ultimate Fan, we caught up with international broadcast star and YouTuber Ade Oladipo.
Arsenal, I feel like they could be a sleeping giant. I don't want this Arteta that's the same amount of league titles as Klopp. And it'll make me feel sick.
Just one.
This is one.
Oh,
no! He has the same as Klopp.
As he breaks down his thoughts on being the ultimate Liverpool fan. Ade, it's a pleasure to have you here. And first things first, where's the money?
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
But how are you doing though? It's good to have you in Nigeria.
It's always good to be here. Every time I can, I come as much as possible.
Yes. I was like, once you come to Nigeria, I have to hold him. Tons of WhatsApp messages. Hello again.
Yeah, hello again, because I didn't respond to his first one. So when I saw it again, I was like, what's he talking about again?
Yeah, I know.
And then I realized I didn't respond to the first one.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for your messages regarding my contract extension on DAZN.
I was so happy.
It's a big thing, just to have that security. With a company the size of DAZN, I've been doing it for 5 years now. And for them to believe in what I bring to the table and say, okay, here's another 2 years. And obviously a bit more,
Yeah, for sure.
which is what we want. Obviously, we want to do the work and we want to be
Rewarded
compensated and rewarded, like our peers. Those that are doing really good stuff as well. So, yeah, very, very important for me, for my growth, for what I want to do, the vision, things outside of it. It helps to have that security of that monthly income. So yeah, we're very excited.
And the good news about it is that it's not just only the personal rewards, because you spent so many years, countless hours, you put in the work. People don't realize the amount of work that goes into a live broadcast. We're talking about a global, juggernaut of a company like DAZN. But one thing that's also amazing is the fact that it's an inspiration, because I remember when we first met, about 2 years ago, I think, we did the interview with Mourinho, and you had no right. I mean, it was okay, let me just work with these guys in Nigeria, make a quick buck, and then just go by a separate way. But you were like, no, let me take this guy under my wing. So let me get this straight. How is it for you to serve as an inspiration and a mentor, which is what we lack a lot in Africa, actively helping the other individuals and the next generation? Okay, listen, you need to do this. No, do that better. Do this. Why are you doing that? You don't have to, but why are you doing it?
Feels good to do it. Number one, it feels. I almost feel like you should always, when you're up there, you kind of throw the ladder down for someone to go up, rather than get up there and like almost watch people struggle to make their way. When you can almost advise people in your own mistakes so they don't go that same way, that same path. So when I see someone with potential, I'm like, "Ooh, the guy's good. Well, the girl's good. Let me just steer them a little bit there. Let me trim off the fat there," because I feel like, especially us Black broadcasters on the continent, on the global stage, there isn't that many of us. So when you see someone that you think could get to that global stage, you want to help them get there.
True.
Because I feel like there needs to be more representation. And sometimes it's you do what you see. And once you see someone up there, as I did when I was coming through and I saw a few big Black broadcasters, I'm like, okay, it can be done.
Yeah.
Like, wow,
it's possible.
Yeah, like when Denzel Washington wins the Oscar, and Michael B. Jordan, the young Michael B. Jordan, watching Denzel win it at training day, thinking, wow, someone that looks like me is doing it. And that's my theory. So when I see someone like yourself, energy, speaks well, looks well, dresses well, all the part, I'm like, he should be doing more.
Thank you. High praise once again.
You should be doing more. It's true though, you should be doing more.
Yeah, for sure. But again, it's been on the path, and we've had many conversations over the years, and both private and in person. And, obviously you can see the fact that you've said a few things, I've taken them, and I'm going to run with what he has said. But I also have to ask you about the personal battles and the personal journey, because everybody's seen the news, see you on DAZN almost every other fight week for sports broadcast. But people don't realize the dark times, the down periods, when things are not going so well, when you maybe even have self-doubt or imposter syndrome. How do you run through this? Because that's a part of the journey as well.
Part of the journey. It's part of our job, right? Because there will be some times where we're doing it and we're thinking we don't belong there.
Yeah.
Like you maybe watch other people and you think you don't sound like them, you don't look like them. You don't get the gigs you want, you don't get the phone calls. You're sitting there thinking, okay, what's going on? Do I really need to redo my show reel? Do I take a job for free just to get work so it looks like I'm active? Yeah. On my studio, there's a plaque behind me and it says £38.23.
What does that mean?
So 9 years ago, when I left Nigeria, I used to live in Nigeria, in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
9 years ago when I left, that's all I had in my bank account.
Say that again.
I left with that.
How much you say? How much?
£38.23.
What?
30. In fact, it was 38.23, but available balance was 31.70. So I'm guessing the direct debit was coming out somewhere. And I remember that. So that for me was rock bottom. That was like depression, because it wasn't like £38.23, knowing that there's money coming. You know, like everyone has them times when money will be low, but you know, okay, there's a paycheck coming, or there's this one, someone's going to advance me something. There was nothing. And I was like, I went home and I was thinking, okay, we need to do something.
Ground zero.
We need to do something from ground zero. And that's when I started my YouTube channel. And at the time I worked out that a YouTube video was paying me like £35. If I do decent numbers. I remember I did hundreds of them, thinking this has to pay the rent. And once I worked out the number, and if I do this one, it gets this views, this will pay me £20, £17, £18. That's when I did hundreds of videos and I was unstoppable. I would do a video, maybe 5 videos a day.
Wow.
Because I was like, that needs to pay rent, that needs to buy food, that needs to do this, do that. And that's what gave me the drive. That's why I make sure I made the plaque and put it behind me. Anytime I get now, which is a bit difficult, I always look and think, it will never be as difficult as 38.23. Now I'm running around complaining about not being on business class flights. Why am I not first class?
Wow.
Yeah, we had a time when we were really, really struggling.
That's very similar to the story that Dwayne The Rock Johnson, when he said he had $7 in his pocket at one point in time.
And he set up $7 production company.
Exactly, something like that. But that's really touching. So now you've mentioned that. Let's break it down to the final set. I'm going to ask you about your personality and your drive and your goal. Yes, you have the big deal with DAZN, but obviously there has to be more. What's the next big step for Ade Oladipo when it comes to your personality, your brand? Let's say the future plans.
My production company is the biggest thing for me now. Green Chair Productions. And the reason it's that is because when I was going through the struggles, I used to sit on a green chair.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a green...
Man, there's so many personal stories, man. I need to come to your studio. I need to come to your studio.
Come to the studio, you'll see it. You'll see the green chair in the side of the studio. So I used to sit on this green chair and used to go down the cameras and so I decided I need to start a company that almost sort of allows me to remember that journey. And that's where the Green Chair name come from. So the idea of Green Chair Productions is I want to build a production company that helps people, talented people, almost give them a foot up. So content creators are probably the biggest one. And I know how expensive it can be to create content, the cameras, the lighting, everything that we've got here in this room right now. So I almost want to provide that to them and all their content be under Green Chair Productions. And when they're ready to fly by themselves, fly. But almost be the first holding the hand for the murky waters for the first 2 years and then let them set off into the sunset. So that's Green Chair Productions is big. My YouTube is the most important thing I do. DAZN is there, TalkSport, Amazon Prime, Fox Sports. My YouTube is the most important because it's mine. I own it. And we've grown the boxing part of my YouTube to over 100,000 subscribers. We've just started the football one, which is now fast approaching 15,000. We're growing. We're growing. So there's nothing better than creating your own thing. The dream was obviously to work for these big channels, Sky, ESPN, as we're growing up as broadcasters. But there'll be nothing bigger. Because I look at people like Shannon Sharp, his own YouTube platform. There's a guy in the UK called Mark Goldbridge.
Yeah, I think Gary Neville bought
Neville bought his YouTube channel for 10 million. Bought his YouTube channel for 10 million. And he's paying him a salary for the next 10 years. YouTube content is key. People watch YouTube more than they watch TV.
True that.
YouTube is key. So for any young people watching this right now, set up a YouTube. And you can start with this. Everyone wants a fancy camera. We've got cameras on these amazing phones. You can start with this, a tripod, and start your content. No restrictions. So I think YouTube's the most important thing for me.
Fair point then. All right, now, so let's talk about the other side of Ade. You're obviously a sports fan, obviously. You like combat sports, obviously.
I love all sports. If my mum was sitting here and you ask my mum what's his favorite sports, she would probably say tennis and athletics.
Oh, that's what she thinks.
That's what she thinks.
But you like more.
It's more boxing, football, basketball, but tennis and athletics. I grew up watching tennis. I think my biggest stars are from athletics.
Yeah, but you see, you should have with athletics is the fact that Marion Jones, massive fan of Marion Jones as a kid. I remember I had the Sydney Olympics in 2000. I was like rooting for her. She won the gold. And then it came out that she was a cheat. It was like it broke my heart.
It killed me.
It broke my heart. Marion Jones, you were my first hat trick, by the way.
She broke. It's weird that we connect like that.
Yeah,
she broke
it was.
My heart.
I loved Marion Jones, Maurice Green. Goodness.
Marion Jones was that perfect.
She was the perfect
queen,
female athlete.
Could do anything, and she was cheating.
Anyway, let's flip over to football because I know you love Liverpool.
Yeah.
Quick question: of all the clubs I date to like, why Liverpool?
You know why? Let me tell you why.
Tell me why. It's not because of John Barnes.
No, it is. But you know why? Because when my dad came from Nigeria, like when you go to the UK, you gravitate to the best black of anything.
Yes.
And when my dad came from Nigeria to UK, the best black player was John Barnes. So it's actually quite lucky that my dad didn't go in '85 because I'll be supporting Watford. Oh! John Barnes was Liverpool. So when my dad moved to London in '88, John Barnes was at Liverpool. Yeah. And it's like a lot of black people, like there'll be a lot of Nigerians that support, I don't know, they support
Arsenal
Chelsea
because
and
of
Arsenal.
Kanu
Nwankwo. Yeah, exactly. And Ghanaians will go Chelsea because of Essien.
Yeah,
and
true.
People from Ivory Coast will go Chelsea because of Drogba.
Yeah.
Even though that club Chelsea is useless, but they'll go because of them.
So that.
Mine was
shots fired, by the way.
So mine was John Barnes because of my dad.
Oh, wow.
So you have no choice. Once your dad supports the team, you support that team.
Yeah.
That was my thing. So John Barnes was the reason.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, Liverpool.
So let's run through the Liverpool, story. What has been the highest points of being a Liverpool fan? The dark era when you guys had the likes of Veronini as your striker. Or Voronin, is it Voronin?
Yeah,
Voronin from Ukraine.
From Ukraine.
There we go.
The hair, ponytail.
There we go. You had the likes of
Jesus, dark times. Oh, dark times. But there is something though, There's something about those dark times when you are rubbish and you've accepted that you're rubbish. Yeah. But then you beat a Chelsea or United or an Arsenal.
Which you did.
Which we did. We somehow beat those guys.
Yeah.
There's something now about being so-called good, and you lose a few games and you lose your head.
Yeah.
It's like now to win this league, you've almost like got to City done it, where you've got to remain unbeaten.
Yeah. Perfect.
You've got to be perfect. You can't lose a game.
Yeah, etc.
Whereas when we were rubbish, as you mentioned, under Roy Hodgson and a little bit under Brendan Rodgers, sometimes it just felt good. I remember when it was under Benitez and Chelsea and Mourinho, and we beat them a couple of times in the Champions League, and they were the big boys, spending big money.
Yeah, they were.
It felt good to be an underdog. Liverpool now is not an underdog, it's causing me more pressure. I had hair when I started supporting Liverpool.
Oh my goodness, come on, I did.
And I had no grades, people. But no, it's fun. I enjoy it. So
let me get your thoughts on the best moments you've experienced as a Liverpool fan live at Anfield.
Chelsea, it would have been 05-06.
Really?
Chelsea.
That far?
Yeah.
Semi-finals?
Semi-final, Champions League.
You were there?
I was there.
God.
I was there.
Hot
Remember,
damn.
I'm 45. I wish I was young.
You were there?
I was there for that one.
I was in secondary school, by the way.
My sister was going out with a guy that supported Liverpool. He used to take me up to Liverpool quite a lot. That atmosphere, it honestly felt like, obviously the ground wasn't shaking, but it felt like it was moving.
Wow.
It felt like the ground was moving. And Chelsea at the time were a formidable force.
They were the biggest.
It was John Terry versus Carragher. It was Gerrard versus Lampard. It was Rafa versus Mourinho. There were so many clashes, but they were better than us. Like
we were underdogs. You had Luis Garcia.
Xabi Alonso. But we had good players, but nothing like them.
Yeah.
And we beat them. I remember thinking, it doesn't get any bigger or better than this.
Wow.
But then obviously we lost the final to AC Milan.
No, in 05 you won it.
No, you're talking about, that's 04-05. I'm talking about 06-07.
Oh, yeah, okay. Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, if I may, I think the team that lost to AC Milan was better than the team that beat AC Milan in 05. You guys had matured. You were a lot better. You had, Gerrard was older. It was peak.
Yeah. And that Milan side that beat us in 04-05, everyone will talk about, and rightly so, the Barcelona team has been the best team
Which
ever.
of the Barca's? 09 Barca? With
09
Messi,
Barca.
with
09
Xavi.
Barca.
Okay, well,
09 Barca.
Arguable. I would know I'm a Man U fan. So
that Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, just ridiculous.
Yeah, untouchable.
But that midfield that we played against Liverpool, Kaká, Seedorf, Pirlo. Shevchenko, Crespo up front.
Jesus is Lord.
Honestly ridiculous. Like, honestly, you look at that
Cafu,
team.
You had Maldini.
It was literally
you had Dida in goal.
And we had Jimmy Traore.
Didier Man.
We had nothing.
An old smasher that was way past off his prime.
How we beat them. And even Gerrard, I think people forget back then.
But Gerrard was still very young.
Gerrard was 23.
Oh, yeah, 23 years.
23 years old.
Young.
You know, when we talk about these young players need to mature, like give them time. Gerrard was 23, getting us through that mountain of a team to win the Champions League.
Wow.
Captain Liverpool to win the Champions League at 23. almost needs to be spoken about more. Because how old is Saka?
24.
24. It looks like a different.
Yeah,
they almost look like men.
I think it's different eras.
Different eras.
Different eras. So let's talk about Liverpool now. Let's talk about your manager, Arne Slot. I mean, came into the league last season, took everything by storm, won the league, put in money in the bank, but that account is draining real fast. Do you think he should be sacked, or you give him one more season?
That account is on a deficit. Like,
like 38 pounds.
Like, less than 38, 23. Less than 38. Me, I would sack him immediately.
Really?
I'd sack him.
Arne Slot.
I'd sack him immediately.
Arne Slot.
I'd sack him.
Nah,
you know what it is?
Nah.
You know what it is? It's the hope that kills you.
It is.
So when Liverpool won the league, and then we spent $500 million.
And what happened? You guys spent the most money in the summer.
And by the way, these were good players. This is why, for me, it's difficult to kill Arne because, like, Wirtz, when we signed Wirtz, I was like, oh my God. We signed Isak. I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And then there was an argument as well one time that Isak and Haaland, like, it wasn't like Haaland was here. There was like, oh, who's better?
Yeah.
Ekitike could come through. Kirkes, I watched at Bournemouth.
Mamadashvili in goal.
Diaz is a massive one. Luis Diaz, losing Luis Diaz is massive.
Go, though?
I don't know. I think he wanted more money, which is fine. But he's so much better than Gakpo.
So,
Gakpo,
it's nepotism.
Can we swear on this channel?
Yeah, you can.
Gakpo is fucking killing me. I want to
He's Dutch. I think that nepotistic,
there is that.
Yeah, is there. So you would love to sack Arne Slot, not give him a chance.
No, I've seen enough evidence. You know, this is the good thing about the league, right? There'll be 38 games come the end of the season. 38 is a very good, like, number to realize how good someone is. It's not like the Champions League where sometimes you could get a lucky draw, you could play that. Look at the way Arsenal are missing out on some of the bigger teams, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it over 38 games. Liverpool have lost 10 times.
Wow.
10! No. He's simply not good enough.
But it's funny, last season, he also had great numbers. He did well. I mean,
was that Klopp's team or his team?
He was the manager of the team, though.
He was the manager of the team. But you know, this team, this time, it's all his signings. So it's like he's trying to build his own team. And sometimes that does take a while. So I almost feel like last season, you're right, he brought Gravenberch back into that midfield. He played Gakpo, he played well.
You have to understand that Salah's loss of form to kind of disrupt the chemistry. And he's leaving anyway, so I think that would be good to let him go with the legend that he is and we move on.
You know, the thing about the Salah issue, and you are correct, but I don't want to hear that as an excuse. Liverpool are paying Arne Slot £7 million a year. Solve the Salah issue.
That's your job, right?
Solve it.
Okay, let me get
every manager at the top clubs will have players that have egos like Salah.
True.
Do you think Luis Enrique doesn't have it?
Oh yeah.
Do you think Vincent Kompany isn't having it? Do you think Pep Guardiola has not had it since the very beginning?
His career,
yeah. Deal with it. So you're dealing with one player that's got ego. All these other managers deal with several ego players. Deal with it. You're a top manager. Deal with your top players correctly. And you know, sometimes when it's the best player in the team, and that's what Salah has been for Liverpool for 9 years, there's a bit of leeway you give to your best players.
Yeah, because he gets the job done.
Because he gets the job done. There's a bit of more. You can't like treat him like you're treating Andy Robertson.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a bit of leeway, and I don't think he's handled that correctly.
Even
this season, his numbers are crap, but his numbers are still better than most right-sided players in the world.
True. Treat
him with a bit of respect, and I feel like he's treated him with so much disrespect.
So you're taking the side of the player now?
I've known Slot for 1 year. I've known Salah in my life for 9. I've known Salah in my life for 9.
You have to love.
If a good friend comes around for you for 1 year, and a good friend has been around for 9, and this,
like him,
which one are you taking?
The 1 year.
The 1 year. You got. I look at someone that's given me 9 years of wonderful football.
Yeah.
Over
It's been the bane of my existence actually in this era because I hate Salah, especially against United. I'm like, what happened? Did a Man U fan sleep with your ex-girlfriend or something? What's going on here, bro?
He always delivers, isn't it?
Against United, goodness, the most goals for in that fixture. That's crazy.
I think Slot's been so disrespectful. Look, his legs have gone. Obviously, he's not.
Yeah, he's getting older.
Yeah, he's getting older, but like to drop him against PSG, a must-win game, big game. He's our top goal scorer in Europe.
He's a big game player.
Yeah,
too.
like you can't. There's certain players that have to play. Robertson has to play. Salah has to play just by default because they understand the nights. True. And they play Kirkes.
All right, let me get this. We had a banter season, in my opinion. Arsenal and Man City have just been going back and forth. The Arsenal fan base, you know how they are. Do you think that Arsenal will win the league this year, or do you feel Man City will win the league this year? Who are you picking?
City.
Why?
But I think it's a want more than a will.
Why do you want City to win the league ahead of Arsenal?
Because Arsenal and this is why I've got to change my mindset. I still don't look at City as a big club.
Yeah, we all don't. It's just money.
And it's ridiculous. Whereas Arsenal, I feel like they could be a sleeping giant. If they win one, I thought Arsenal could wake up. And I don't want this Arteta to have the same amount of league titles as Klopp. And it'll make me feel sick.
True. It's just one.
It's one.
Oh,
like,
no.
He has the same as Klopp.
But it's taking more time. 6 years now. Klopp only took 4.
Yeah, but still, they won't care about that. You know, in 25 years' time,
Yeah.
no one will know that argument that you just said.
True that.
Like, how many titles did Arteta get?
1.
How many Klopp?
1.
So,
Okay,
no.
let me get this straight. Why do you feel Arsenal fans are really hated? Why do you feel that the entire world basically hates that fan base?
because they talk as though this is a team that's a winning team. You know, they'll be in a conversation with other teams that have actually got trophies in the bank. Yeah, Arsenal haven't won the league for 23 years, haven't won the League Cup for 34 years, have never won the European Cup, the big one, the big years.
No.
They've not. But yet you'll be in a debate with an Arsenal fan and all you'll hear is invincible. And like, I need to open that trophy cabinet and see trophies.
Well, the trophies are invincible.
The trophies are invincible.
So there we go.
Like Arteta's won one FA Cup and that's it.
They didn't really. He was like he came in the semi-finals. I don't know what. For me, if that's Emirates FA Cup.
It's Emery's FA Cup.
You know?
I know what you mean. But I think, you know, look, if we're being serious, Arsenal are a big team. They've had some fantastic players. But
the fans.
Ultimately, they've not delivered. But the fans, they're getting closer. And that's what's getting scary. They're getting closer. Now, semi-final, back-to-back Champions League.
Yeah, but that's only
second. It's not, but you do feel like something's happening. You know, this team, I'm not going to lie. I almost feel like, when I look at the players they've got, defensively, goalkeeper, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and forward line, it almost as though they need to get a manager that can take them over the line.
I feel so.
Like, he's took them so
the next
far.
level,
They need another one, like, just to get over. Because they've got, I look at that squad and I think they've got a squad. But they haven't got the manager, I think, that is ready to... Like, let Eze go. Like, let Eze just become your superstar.
Yeah.
Like the way Man City have said to Turkey, okay, you can do what you want.
Free roll, yeah.
Free roll, whatever you want. But it's like he restricts him a lot.
Okay, this is the final question about the Liverpool question. Let me get this straight. And this is a big one because many fans will be listening for this one. Who is the bigger team in England? Manchester United or Liverpool?
Well, if we're going on trophies, then we've won more now.
Just one.
Just
one more than United.
Okay, but one more is enough for this. But fan base, United are a bigger fan base. I'm not stupid to think about that. United are a bigger fan base. But if we're going on trophies...
So which is the bigger team then? Everything combined. Trophies, honours, fan base,
I will always
culture.
say Liverpool. And I would always expect a United fan to say United.
But what do you think objectively?
Liverpool.
Why?
Because we've had more success than you.
How?
We've won more trophies.
Well, see, what's
the definition of success?
Hold on.
Trophies is the definition of success.
When you win your treble, talk to me.
Okay, when you win 6 European trophies, talk to me. You know, on the continent, winning the European Cup is viewed as such a big thing.
It's a big thing, yeah.
It's a big thing. I sometimes feel like in England, maybe they don't view it as big as it should be.
It's big.
Winning the European Cup.
In Spain, Real Madrid, that's what makes them of your season.
That's why they're the biggest club in the history of football
15.
because of that.
Yeah.
You know, so that would always be the bigger thing. We both produced some incredible players.
Yeah, we
both have passionate fan bases.
Great managers as well.
Great managers down the years.
But I would say this though: your atmosphere and your club anthem. Even though I'm a Man U fan, and he cuts me to say this, you guys gonna have that. Like, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, I think the atmosphere of United is only because you were so big in the 90s that you've attracted a lot of fans that maybe, I don't know, casual football fans.
Yes.
So when you go to Old Trafford, there are people that
are not properly English.
They're not proper.
I get that.
Whereas Liverpool, we're getting that as well. We're getting that.
But you guys have more. What's the name of that accent?
Scouts.
Scouts. There we go. You have the Scouts guys there.
Scousers.
You know.
Yeah, we've got a lot of Scousers.
I can't even say it. Someone la. There we go. La.
You're right.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. It's been amazing.
Thank you very much.